All right, President Trump's push to acquire Greenland might come with some more resistance, as with Germany hinting at its support for owner Denmark and France going as far as offering military help if needed.
Goody, those cheese-eating surrender weasels. I mean, France. Meanwhile, Denmark has ramped up its defense budget by more than $2 billion as it increases military spending in the Arctic. This includes improved Arctic surveillance, 3 new ships capable of launching helicopters and drones, and expanded satellite coverage.
See how this works? Donald Trump actually makes things happen. Well, joining us now, American Institute for Economic Research President and Afghan war veteran William Ruger. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, thank you for your service. You know, it's interesting how all of a sudden now they've got all this money. They're not just putting dog sled teams, which was their original announcement, right? We're going to put 2 dog sled teams out there. But now they're going to spend billions of dollars to protect Greenland, which actually helps the United States, correct?
Yeah, I mean, look, you remember the old commercial by E.F. Hutton, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen?
Right.
This is exactly what Donald Trump has been able to do globally, right? When Donald Trump speaks, people listen. And look, our allies need to do more to carry the burden. If they're not willing to do this, then, these relationships are going to have to change. And I think Donald Trump has really promoted this idea that they need to step up. And so he's spoken, they've listened. But I think the big issue really here for us is that, look, our interests, American interests, are going to be prioritized by this administration. Secretary Rubio was careful to emphasize that in his hearings. President Trump has talked about America's national interests over and over again. And sometimes they're going to collide with our European allies. A lot of times they overlap, but sometimes they cause friction because they're not aligned. And the job of the United States and the job of President Trump is to protect America's interests first, second, and third, not Denmark's or Germany's or France's.
You mentioned Secretary of State Rubio, who is going to meet with the Canadian Foreign Minister, and I will butcher her name because it is French, and I'm a redneck, Mélanie Joly. And so this is, as Canada and Mexico are facing the threat of 25% tariff, the deadline is Saturday. But how do you think that this goes? Because again, if Canada and Mexico both meet the requirements that President Trump has laid out, like shutting your border down, theoretically, that these tariffs won't go into place.
Yeah, look, the United States has what we might call escalation dominance, right? We are a much stronger economy, a much stronger nation. And so I think this means that imbalance of power between the two countries means that Canada is, I think, going to conciliate the United States. And again, I think there's a pattern here, right, where President Trump has used economic statecraft to try to get better deals. And that's exactly what you might expect from a real estate mogul like President Trump.
Yeah, he does know how to negotiate and does know how to put America first. That's exactly what he promised to do.
Yep. Does it benefit, though, acting so quickly before we go? Like, this is like, here's my February 1st deadline. I've been the president of the United States for what, it'll have been 12 days, 13 days?
I mean, I think it's like what you were talking about before. I mean, there's really a sense that there's a kind of excitement, a kind of energy in the executive that is really trying to, I think, promote these interests, move quickly, and really make sure that the Democrats, maybe not so much aroused, but aren't sure how to react here. And I think that's the same on the international stage. And that gives the president an advantage when his opponents are on the other foot, right? They're on the back foot, so to speak. So again, internationally and domestically, the president's energy and his kind of pushes on multiple fronts creates a scenario in which he can really, I think, make progress on a lot of his initiatives, especially before some of the, kind of natural cycles of American politics come to play and the Democrats and others regain some of their footing in terms of how to respond to this.
Thank you so much, William Ruger. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you.